Lorelei with Radiate Life with Lorelei, Radiate Life Force, and I'm just getting ready to visit a loved one in the hospital this morning. And so I just wanted to come in and really encourage everybody to, rather than spend, this is a time really to clean out, to organize, to set priorities. I think that we all know with wanting to stay grounded and taking care of ourselves and have freedom and self-sustainable, that we need to continue to be really good about either getting out of debt, staying out of debt. We need to be putting food away, just some water, just basic things, and money, just simple things, not anything crazy. But you'll be surprised. I've been doing the food thing for a couple of years, and I put away a few things, and I mark my boxes. It's not a huge thing, but it does come in handy uh, for road trips and things. But it's just a little bit of security that you have. If you ever have been on a trip and there's been families in need, that comes in handy too, to give it to them so they have something as a backup. And just really take good care of yourself. I think, as I definitely can say, as an empath and as a sensitive, there's so many things going on in the world, that we can get pulled in all these different directions. But one of the things that really has been a focus for me is making sure that my house, my home, is sustainable. My health, in the last year and a half, 2 years, there's been more, nothing structural, but it's definitely the vagus nerve. It's definitely sciatic, you know, and I'm so grateful that I stayed with it, that I learned lots of different things. I'm a former athlete. I do love to feel my body. I do love to exercise, and it doesn't matter what your body looks like. Bringing in good, fresh, vital energy, loving yourself. We have to love ourselves for who we are right now. And it doesn't mean that we've given up and we can't listen to, body shaming and, you know, it's fine if somebody doesn't want to come to me because they look at me physically and say, well, I don't want to use her as someone who I want to be around, or mentors. Like, you know what? Like, that's totally fine. Like, you do need to find somebody. And I think, another thing is that I'm not ashamed. I do the best I can with my health. And like I said, I've been in pain for the last year and a half, and it's not something that I've shared with people. It's just something that I decided to keep at it, to get it from all different points of view. And what I learned is that when we bring in this energy, when we radiate the energy out, when we take care of that life force, it is the nervous system that can get overloaded. So we have to, just like a I'm gonna say, like a capacitor. What are the big capacitors that take energy, and they're stored in it, and they're in the lines anyway? It stores it, and then it breaks it down, and it delivers it to the homes. So we have to expand our capacity, our capacitors, in order to bring the energy in and move the energy out. Now, one really wise thing we have with us all the time is our body and our brain and our limbic system, because those are the basic beginning systems and helped us do things so we don't have to think about keeping our heartbeat, keeping our cells continuing to rejuvenate, the hormones that we have in the house. So we need to be able to do that as well. And then I'm just going to say a small beginning prayer for us, because I will come back and delete your comments, A, and then B, we're going to do a clearing and an invocation. And I hope you see that I have something that helps keep us in our sacred place. So some people call this an evil eye. And I also have a blessed cross here as well. And one of the things that I have come out here, and I do realize that I am doing a vertical live, is I want to take a moment. And when people come in, for whatever reason, it's like barking dogs. We have to stay within our own self, right? And I say, All that I am and all that I was, all that I have done, all that has been done to me has brought me to this very sacred moment in time. And then I'm going to do our light explosion. And here is our light explosion: red, magenta, amethyst, golden yellow, turquoise, emerald green, sky blue, ultraviolet, amber, apple green, aquamarine, peach, deep teal, pearlescent white light. So I do this every morning and every night. We have to have the courage to come and step out and see it just like little kids. Little kids. Mean kids. They just want to provoke. They just want to do things. We don't have to take that. So I claim my sacred space and I invoke our assistance. Could be a loved one, it could be a spiritual leader, it could be an artist, it could be a philosopher. But those people that are here right now in this moment in time, what we do is we say, we have our own sacred space, and I don't project anger at you. What I do is that I don't accept the negativity. I decline the negativity. I transform that negativity into golden divine energy. And I ask my inner guidance to send this energy back to me in the most beautiful and beneficial way. And I also say, take this energy and send it back to whoever sent it. And instead of filling it with rage and anger and hate, basically giving back to them what they sent to us, we take that energy and we transform it. And maybe you see it as a violet light, or maybe you see it as a golden light, or maybe you just see it as love. But whatever it is, know that if you are a loved one, if it were a child of yours, that you would want them to learn from their intention. And so then that's what we do as a responsible, empath, sensitive, healing person. Just like you're walking on the street. We're going to complain that there's trash on the beach or complain there's trash in a park. No, we're probably going to pick it up and put it in the trash can. We're going to lead by example. So we're taking the negativity, the toxicity, the meanness, whatever the intention was behind it, we don't need to know. And we send it back to wherever it came from with right thinking and right actions. Right thinking and right action, so that they will have a clear and distinct understanding of what they give out in the universe comes back to them like a boomerang. So if this is what they're wanting to receive in their life, in their way, in some shape or form, then we recognize that we all make choices, that it is a free will plane. And with that understanding, love for ourselves, love for what our life is like, being willing to pick up the trash. It's not enough just to put up a wall or decline it. I mean, you could, but then the next step is really take that energy, alchemize it for ourselves, send it back to where it came from. Right thinking, right actions. And so then when we do that, the other thing that's an important piece of that is what we're holding ourselves to a higher standard, meaning that our highest standard. So we have to say, if I'm saying all energy that is sent to me will be transmuted into virtuous and helpful, beneficial energy. So then when someone comes into my environment like this, is saying names or things, or just trying to distract and get our attention, then we just need to be in that sacred space and say, nobody can hurt me. You can't harm me. I know the thing comes up, sticks and stones may break my bones. Names will never hurt me, although the energy of the power of the thought form is certainly there. But we've already taken care of that. We're saying we live in the world, and since I live in the world, I have a right and a responsibility to myself, to love myself, to take care of myself. And that if I see someone else on the roadway or on the street, or someone's angry, it's like you can always offer help. It's always good to be able to send love and support. That's not going over someone's will. Now, whether or not they accept it, that's up to them. But if that is how we're putting that out there, sometimes you may feel that love from a loved one. You may get a phone call from somebody that says, "Oh, I was thinking about you." There are a lot of things that could happen with that. But every day when I get up and I do this and I remember this, it gives me the courage to be myself. It gives me the courage to dance, to dress the way I want to dress, dance the way I want to dance, to come on and even do, a live as well. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to say this last thing is that it is what it means is, though, it also says that I have to recognize that I'm not going to go out and gossip and say things about other people to make them look bad because I have a quote unquote right to do so. You have a right, but you have to, again, when you say I'm stepping into my power and I am responsible for the energy, and then also, oh, I see this energy that's coming in from whatever reason, I'm empowered to do something about that because that energy was sent to me. Don't send that energy to me if you don't want me to empower it and to send it back, and you won't be the same from sending that energy to me in some way, shape, or form. That's what faith and trust is about. That's what hope is about. So again, don't listen to the barking dogs, but do something about taking care of yourself. And so you have to be responsible. So if you do this and say, I send this energy to their highest self or their spiritual guides in order to give them right thinking and right action, that just gives them a moment. It gives them a pause. It gives them an opportunity. Whether they take it or not, it's up to them. It's not up to us. But then we also have to say, and then a double measure for myself. Yeah, that is a good idea for me. Help me understand that I might be squeezed like an orange, like Wayne Dyer says. And what's squeezed in an orange, the juice comes out. Whatever juice is in me is going to get squeezed. And it's good for me just to receive that and have feedback and say, is that who I am? Is this a hurt or a wounded part of me that's going on here? And then once you do that, you realize that you want to have awareness. Let me be aware. Let me not be afraid of what it is that I'm saying, because it's only through awareness that we can make a change or that things can be different. If we're doing something and we're not aware, somebody may call us out and we might go like, that's not me. And yet, if we look at our blind spot like an owl on our shoulder who can pivot 360 degrees, that can be a visual that you use. Let me check what's in my blind spot, what's in my mirror, what is it that comes up. And it feels really good. It feels good to be responsible, and not that you take that and say, well, I'm responsible, that makes me in a higher position. Like that feeds what can be our surface mind, or what we might call our ego. And it's not that our ego is bad. Our ego is a motivator. And sometime I'll break that down a little bit more about what ego is from my point of view. And then also just realizing that words like ego and even words like God, everyone has a different concept. So sometimes you have to define it. But I wanted to come out here today. As I said, I'm going in to see my loved one who's in the hospital. This is a time in which, it really gets down to what's important. What can I put on the back burner for now? And what is life about? Have I put things off? Have I not taken care of things? One thing I say this to myself, and I like to share it with my family and friends, and that is like, if I had somebody call me up and say, look, I have a business trip, I can take a friend with me, but we have to leave this weekend, can you go? It's like, I'm taken care of? Have I paid my bills? Would I have someone lined up to take care of my animals? Do I have money set aside that I would be able to have set aside as fun, kind of like a vacation? So I'm always preparing myself to say, what's the unexpected? Now, I know a lot of times we think about emergency funds and if something goes wrong, and that is great. That gets to me to be sustainable. It gets to be my needs met. I'm going to be more stable and have more flexibility like a willow tree if I have my resources at the ready for me, right? I'm not going into debt. I'm not dependent upon those things. But if I did, I have a plan. I have a payment. I'm staying down. I'm paying it down till I pay it off. Maybe I'm working a second or third job to pay it off, which I've done before. So, as well as having a vacation fund, having a just because fund, because you want to have that, because that gives us hope, that gives us spirit, that fills us up. And when that time comes, because you are planning for it, you are actually saying to the universe, pick me, here I am. I'm ready for the unexpected in a good way. I'm prepared to help where I'm needed. So I'm all of that all together, right? And be okay with yourself. And like I said, if even if you have a debt for whatever reason, being responsible with it, sitting down with someone to put a plan together. You can't plan to live in debt. And especially I'm bringing this up because this is Christmas time and there is a huge wave of action, aligned intent around taking care of business now. Lock in now. Lock in your health now. Lock in your abundance and therefore your prosperity now. Lock in your joy and your fun and all the things that you want to do now. So rather than spending, it's better to make up like an invitation for an event or a card or something that you do. Rather than a thing, create an opportunity to invest in creating memories together or going someplace together, something that's sustainable. So think about that and what you can do as well. And again, I appreciate you, and I'm glad to see you today. And take care. Thank you so much.